So I really had no anticipation for more Weeknd. You know, he came out with After Hours a couple weeks ago, and I'd already told people that I pretty much liked the record. Even though it wasn't my favorite Weeknd project, I still thought there was so much good about it that even I had to put aside some of my preferences for the quality of the album, right? So then he releases these bonus, versions of the same tracks a couple weeks later, a couple days later. Wasn't really feeling them too much, and now we got 3 bonus tracks that are being added. The difference between these bonus tracks, though, and those other versions was those other tracks were other versions. The bonus tracks I have hope for, right? They could tie into the album, they could fit the theme, they could fit the sound, so these may be better versions of what he was trying to do the last week. In support of my optimism, I've decided to film my reaction to these 3 new singles or these 3 new songs. Hopefully they're good. And let's see if we can add better content to an already pretty good album. Fuck my soul. Let's hear the emotional dominatrix, The Weeknd. Nothing compares. It's like so overbearing. Oh, fuck. No, I didn't sign up for this. He's dropping the signature. Oh my. Is this the hook? Oh. Fuck. Nah, man. The song, it fits the theme of After Hours already. Like looking for something else to fill the void that was left by your partner. Even on this substance, nothing compares to you. Oh no! I'm so sorry. This is the worst track for me to listen to right now. I'm trying not to get high. I can't open my eye. I don't know if he's saying I've been stuck inside this place for days, because he's quarantining and everything that's going on around this time. It fits so perfectly in this time frame of everything. But he could also mean that he's locked himself in the studio or something like that, or I'm just not getting out of the house because being without you is really depressing. Either way, this hits home in a different way because I'm literally in fucking quarantine right now. Oh my god, this could have been on the album. It's so rare that I like the flow of a singer. It's so rare. Vocal transitions for someone with the voice of The Weeknd should be so predictable and so played out, but he uses them so well sometimes. The percussion and the synths are insane. It literally feels like you see a UFO. I know you're sick of this analogy. You see a UFO, you walk into the middle of the light, and that's the only time you can hear the music as you're being sucked up into it. Only when you exit does everything go silent. And you're exposed to this rumbling, intimidating noise that you got in the intro. It's great. This easily could have went on the album. He easily could have extended it. Oh my god, the good. Yeah, this is such an extravagant, large, built-up, apologetic ballad. He does this thing here. I gotta give him this. This being added to the album actually raises how I feel about it in its entirety. Just this one bonus track. Number 16, or basically number 2, is called "Missed You."
I hold you responsible for the things I do. I hurt myself 100 times just to feel something in my soul.
Oh wow, that's hard. I'm not a big fan of this track. The feeling I get from it actually is reminiscent. The way it builds is kind of similar to Bruno Mars's "When I Was Your Man" track. I don't know if anyone else can hear it. It's really subtle. It's not something to make a big deal about or anything like that. It just reminds me of that track, the way it builds, the flow of it, his vocal patterns. It builds like that. Instrumentally, it's just a little bit more generic in comparison to everything else that I remember off After Hours, the track we just heard. Thematically, it fits the tone, needing to inflict damage or harm onto himself to feel again because she's left him so numb. I like that. Final track is Final Lullaby. Dog, whoever's playing with the synths like their guitar strings needs to be shot. You know exactly what you're doing. Like, this sounds like that one last mission on, or I think it's off Sonic the Hedgehog 2 in the beginning, where it's like dun 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 dun. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. Dog, why'd he slide in like that? I got all the time in the world. I'm in quarantine.
Find peace, close your eyes, and I can make you say,
oh my god. And I hope you find peace. Close your eyes as I put us to sleep. Like, I hope you go and find your own way, do your own thing, find happiness and peace while I put this relationship to an end. This final lullaby is the last best thing that I'm supposed to remember from you. And it's like, this is an acceptance piece almost about how I'm supposed to move on and stop feeling the way I'm feeling. Because I can't keep you in this broken area, this broken space. It's just not healthy. It's not good for you. It's not good for me. Jesus Christ. He has so much range vocally. This dude. I don't know, this mix that Abel's doing of synth work, ambience, and chamber pop, though not quite as timeless and dense as Deserter songs from Mercury Revs, has this similar cinematic buildup that you'd get off of like a Titanic Rising from Wise Blood, still maintaining the layers and the texture that you might get off of an old Grizzly Bears record. It's all just fusing together like really nicely. Don't go. Even with the extra, you know, the little tidbits of vibrato and you know, and the amount of reverb over his voice, the range vocally that this dude has is still shown. He still shines through every effect out of this entire song. That's what makes him like the most pristine part of it. Even though the instrumental is already so lush and builds into something much greater than what it starts as, he's still the most valuable piece of it, which is so rare. So few artists are able to shine through production that has that much, I don't want to say personality, but production that has that much color and that much life. Ironic because of how much of it uses, you know, computers and technology, but still, I don't know, if I look at Final Lullaby as anything, it's like the closing chapter to rehashing this theme and story and this emotion consistently. Even though the second one I wasn't a huge fan of, fitting the theme still, it was probably a better track, the second one, than one of those tracks in the After Hours album initially that I didn't like that much, so I can accept it. I genuinely do think that The Weeknd believes that this is probably one of his better works because he keeps adding so much to it. Despite the success that the initial After Hours album had, he still felt the need to add 4 more tracks or 3 more that were different versions or iterations of the same tracks. He added 3 bonus tracks, capitalizing off of the buzz of the initial release, constantly pushing this. It's like you can tell he sat with this aesthetic in this mode for a really long time before he said that this is the one, this is the sound that I want to go with. And now he's not letting people forget that he put a lot of time into this. And it sounds like it genuinely sounds like he put a lot of work and effort into it. I'm still stuck on Nothing Compares that like gives me, I don't know, some shit that I would get from like a combo of Stranger Things and like Blade Runner. It's got such neon lighting to it. The quality of these tracks are equal to the shit that's on the album, which is rare for an artist that's making such a clear move when it comes to marketing here. Clearly this is a way to keep push for your album, but the fact that there's still quality and just as good as what's on the original is, you deserve a clap. You deserve flowers. You deserve this moment. I'm so sorry. I'm still stuck on the confidence that you have to have in yourself to keep these tracks tucked away, knowing that they're going to be quality enough to push your initial album release beyond its longevity. Oh my God, you did such a good job, man. You did a really good job. Got a ton of respect for The Weeknd right now. That nah Michael Jackson shit he was doing at the end of Final Lullaby. We need more of that vocal foreplay in music. Just when you don't say anything, you just play with your vocals. You just play with them. You don't say shit. I'm publicly going up on my score from After Hours from a 7 to an 8. This is this is just a great experience. All like packing it in. I'm gonna listen to the whole thing all together now. But packing all this in, the effort, the work, the music videos, the theme, the little mini movie, all of it is just such a grand experience. You know, he just needs to be appreciated for this moment, all right? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm doing. And that's it. The Weeknd with these extra tracks is a big, big, big fucking W. Big dubs. Thank y'all for watching. Let me know how you felt about it in the comment section down below. I'll see you next time, and I am out. Peace.